Hello, I'm Tracy. When I was in my teens, I had a dream to become a millionaire by the time I was 30. When I reached the age of 30, I was broke. So I set it back to 35. When I reached the age of 35, I was broke as well. And then I began to give small seminars. Once a man called me, a businessman. He said, could I come and speak to his 800 independent representatives on how to become a self-made millionaire? And I said, of course. And then I hung up the phone and I realized, geez, I have no idea how to become a millionaire. I've wanted to be a millionaire most of my life. I don't know anything about the subject. So I began to study self-made millionaires. I found two things. Number one is that self-made millionaires have been studied for years and years and years, millions and millions of dollars, so we know who they are and where they come from. And number two is that if you do what other self-made millionaires have done, people who started with zero and became a millionaire within one generation, you soon get the same results they do. And if you don't, you don't. Now, the starting point of becoming a millionaire is to remember the greatest discovery of all of human life, which is that you become what you think about most of the time. If you sincerely want to be rich, to achieve all your financial goals, and to retire as a self-made millionaire, one of the smartest things you can do is to develop the habits of thinking and acting that have enabled others to become self-made millionaires. What is so hard about this to understand? Most people are thinking of how little money they have. They worry about being broke. They're worried about lack and poverty. They're worried about the prices of everything, and they're wondering why they're not flourishing financially, because they're thinking about poverty and lack rather than prosperity and abundance. Now, these habits of financial success are learnable, as all habits are, by practice and repetition. In other words, you can program yourself to think like self-made millionaires. And remember, it has to start on the inside before it ever comes true on the outside. So the first discovery about the thinking patterns of self-made millionaires is that they have the habit of thinking in terms of financial independence most of the time. From an early age, or at a certain point in life, they become focused on achieving specific goals for financial independence. They think about it most of the time. Self-made millionaires discipline themselves to make whatever sacrifices are necessary to achieve those financial goals. They organize and reorganize their entire financial lives, their earnings, their investing, their insuring and spending activities in such a way that they're all coordinated and helping them move toward hitting those specific financial targets. Now, here's an important point. Achieving financial success is very difficult, and it does not happen by accident. It happens by very deliberate design and a long period of disciplined persistence in doing the things necessary. Now, at a certain point in life, each person comes to a crossroads with his or her financial goals. One road leads in the direction of earning, saving, and accumulating, while the other road leads in the direction of earning, spending, and getting into debt. And 80% of the population take that road because it's fun and easy. Now, as a fully responsible adult, you must decide which road you're going to take. And no matter what road you've taken up until now, you're free to choose the road that you're going to follow from this day forward. One of the great lines that I teach is that it doesn't matter where you're coming from, all that really matters is where you're going. You can't change the past, but you can totally change the future by taking a different direction today. The starting point of achieving financial success and joining the Self-Made Millionaires Club is for you to accept complete responsibility for your financial life. Most self-made millionaires organize their financial goals and financial lives in such a way that their net worth increases about 8 to 10% per year on the amount of money that they have working. They set financial goals and they don't look for get-rich-quick schemes or easy money. They are patient and persistent and far-sighted. They discipline themselves to save and accumulate money over many years. They don't speculate, they don't take risks, and they don't look for fast ways to make money quickly and easily because there aren't any. As a result of these habitual ways of thinking about their money, each year their wealth grows a little bit. Eventually they pass the $1 million mark and usually keeps on going. As Einstein said, compounding is the greatest power in the universe. So the key to success is get rich slow. Don't try to get rich quick. When you become the kind of person who can set financial goals and accumulate $1 million or more, you'll also be the kind of person who can earn the second and third million as well. You know, we used to say, and I started this when I was poor, is making the first million is very hard, but the second million is almost inevitable. Why is that? It's because you have to develop totally different qualities to earn the first million, but now you have the qualities and earning the second million is much easier. And even if something unfortunate happens to you and you lost all your money, you'd be able to make it back again fairly quickly because you would have become the kind of person who can become a millionaire. Once you become that kind of person, you never lose it. There's a great story about Mike Todd, a theater director who had invested all of his money in a production and lost it all and was broke. And someone once asked him, "Hey, Mike, how does it feel to be poor?" He said, "I'm not poor." He said, "Poor is a state of mind. I'm just broke, and that is temporary." And within a few months, he was back on top again. He was once more a self-made millionaire because he had the mindset. So self-made millionaires did not gain financial success merely by luck. Luck does not factor into it. In order to become a self-made millionaire, you must set financial goals and work toward achieving financial success every day. And if you do that persistently and consistently, day by day, week by week, month by month, you will achieve all your financial goals.
And so as a result, we want to make sure we work on both. We want to create a system that allows you to succeed in both areas, life and your enterprise. So what I want to really make sure that comes out of this is an evaluation of what your real gifts are that are going to fulfill you. Because many of you are living a script around your life that involves having an enterprise when really that may not be your true nature. That's not to say you can't do it. It just means you can do it and you'll be stressed out of your life, stressed out of your mind. And so one of the things we want to find out is how much of that is natural as a problem, how much of that is maybe unnatural. Unnatural meaning you're having problems right now that you shouldn't be having at this stage of development. The most important element is for you to be able to do this, to be able to establish, most importantly, where you really are in your life today. Where are you? And where do you really want to go? What's going to create this extraordinary life? Because some of you right now, if you continue the direction you're going, are going to be successful and unfulfilled, unhappy, and stressed. Because once we get, into a dream, then that dream starts to take on a life of its own. It gives us juice, it gives us energy. But how many of you have got the dream, achieved your goal, and then thought, is this all there is? How many have had this experience? Say, aye. That's more painful than not even achieving it. Because now you've done everything, you've worked it out, and you're successful, and you're not happy. So for some of you, you're going to need to take a look at that. Michael Gerber, the guy that wrote the E-Myth, talks about why so many young businesses fail. And one of the things he says is most people are not really entrepreneurs, but they think that's what they should be. They think that's the sexy thing, that's the most attractive thing, that's the best answer. And what I say to you is you got to separate the vehicle from the outcome. What is it that's going to truly fulfill you? What is it that's going to give you that extraordinary life? What's going to make things magnificent on your terms, not somebody else's terms, not your father, your mother, your background? What is that really? Separate the vehicle, because there's many ways to get to that vehicle. But I'm saying sometimes you got to reevaluate what's going to really make you fulfilled. What is your gift? Are you an artist? Are you the talent that can produce something no one else produces as a skill or a product or a service or some impact? Are you incredibly good at management? You really know how to manage or lead people? Are you an extraordinary entrepreneur that can take that gigantic gut load of risk and can create the vision and attract the talent that you need and the managers and leaders? You may have all three abilities, but which one really fulfills you the most is going to be the critical question. Because we tend to want to do them all, especially in a room like this, because you're all overachievers, right? Me too. And you say, well, I can do all these. Yes, you can, but what will it do to your quality of life? See, again, the secret's going to be this. What is an extraordinary life on your terms today? Getting clear about that. At this stage of life, where you are, where you want to go. At some level, you have a blueprint, a mindset, a belief system, a philosophy, a set of values that says, if I master this thing called my life or my enterprise, then I'll have this great feeling. But what's really interesting about life, I believe that extraordinary life, however you define it, has two master skills to it. The first skill is the science of achievement. Most of you in this room have achieved enormously at various levels of business, or as an individual artist or talent, or as an entrepreneur, or as a manager or leader, as an investor. I mean, everybody in this room, most of you in this room, have really hit the jackpot by most of the world's standards, even though most of you think it's still not enough. But the science of achievement is a skill. It is a science. There are laws. So achievement, even this course, to me, that achievement is, business is a spiritual game. That's what I believe. It's a spiritual practice. A lot of people think it's business. Oh, that's money. That's this horrible thing over there. And that's one of the reasons that they never get really passionate about it. I'm a very spiritually driven, purpose-driven man. But the reason I love business is I see business as the ability to take the invisible and make it visible. I think that is what spirituality and creation is. It's about how can I find the gift I have to give the world? And how can I give it in a way that truly adds value? Not I think adds value, but the people receiving it, they vote with their feet and say, this truly makes a difference in my life. This is something I value. And then you know because they become a customer again. You know because they're thrilled with it. You know because they become a raving fan, not just a satisfied customer. Satisfied customers will leave you. Raving fans will stick with you. Now, the second, and remember I said this is a science to achieve, and we're going to go through that science. How do we create a sustainable system that makes that happen? But the second skill of life is less focused on, and if you're going to have not only management, but create and grow an extraordinary life, you've got to master the second. And that second master skill is the art of fulfillment. The art of fulfillment. And the art of fulfillment, I call it an art because art is like what one person thinks is beautiful, somebody else may think is ugly. But what you have to be able to do is find out what is it for you that's going to fulfill you. And I'll tell you there's two primary elements to that. You've got to figure out what is your gift that's going to give you a sense of meaning, because you can't be fulfilled without a sense of contribution. You can feel happy. Happiness for most people is temporary. It's like pleasure. Eat a chocolate cake, make love, score a point in the game, get the trophy, take your business to the highest level, make the money. There's a moment in which, or maybe a day or an hour, or I don't know how long it lasts for you, but when you achieve those results, will you feel happy? How many know what I'm talking about here? Say I. And how long does it last? Remember, what makes you successful, what makes you fulfilled, may be two different things. So success without fulfillment, that's called failure. If you know somebody who's got everything they thought they wanted and they're not fulfilled, they got a real problem. So what's going to make you fulfilled? Finding your gift, contribution. Life's not about me, it's about we. If we feel like we're contributing to someone else, then we don't just get something, we become something. And what you get never makes you happy long term. Who you become makes you very happy or very sad. So part of that art of fulfillment is, what's my contribution? The second part of it is appreciation. Some of you are contributing, but you're not taking the time to really appreciate. Meaning is where all life is shaped, and you have the power to change the meaning how fast. But you better ask a better question or come up with a better answer. Find your gift and give it every day with more intensity, more beauty, more love, and more unselfishness, and ironically, you'll fill up even more. You'll feel more love and joy and happiness because you'll love yourself, for God's sakes, regardless of what other people do. And it won't be an ego love yourself where you're lying to yourself so you can make other people think you're a certain way. It'll be you connecting with you. And when you connect with you, it's very easy to connect with the real part of other people. That's what life enterprise management is. I'll give it to you. 3,000-year-old simple phrase. Know thyself. But I'll add one. Then be thyself. You know yourself, but you don't be yourself. You just wasted all your time. That's what we're talking about here. Make sense? Does it sound like something that you're committed to really mastering for your life? Yes, no? Right, give everybody a big hand.
Company is to remember all the time what a company is. A company is simply a group of people, and as a leader of people, you have to be a great listener, you have to be a great motivator, you have to be very good at praising and looking for the best in people. People are no different from flowers. If you water flowers, they flourish. If you praise people, they flourish, and that's a critical attribute of a